Okay, now today is Saturday, 15th November 2025, about midday, temperature 25 degrees centigrade, which is about 77 Fahrenheit. Autumn is definitely underway. We've got cooler temperatures quite consistently now. Might still get up to 29, 30 one or 2 days, but most of the time round about 25 during the day. And it's also shorter day length. Probably I mentioned this last year, but when daylight starts to shorten, get shorter, sunrise is earlier and wrong way around. Sunrise is later and sunset is earlier. When the day lengths get shorter, then I start seeing snakes outdoors during daylight, looking for something to eat. And I've seen 4 in the last 10 days. In the summer, snakes only go hunting at night, but the start of the shorter day length sort of reminds them they'd better eat as much as they can now before they become dormant in the winter. The other thing is the 4 angle beans are flowering and producing lots of beans. They only flower during shorter day length. You see why they're called 4 angles. And there's a big crop this year. Young beans are nice and crunchy and good to eat in a salad. So I've been a bit under the weather recently. So I made a video for a few weeks, but nothing has been happening anyway, nothing much in my MEDAKA world, nothing at all really that I could talk about. I'd expected that the autumn breeding season will be underway by now, mid-November, but the MEDAKA only very occasionally producing 1 or 2 eggs. So something not quite right, I think. And I've been thinking it was because the summer had been particularly hot and exhausted the MEDAKA, even well into October, and exhausted the fish, so they're not producing eggs. But then I looked back through the videos I did last autumn in 2024 and found that well before the end of October, I'd removed all this shade cloth that I got. Yet here we are, mid-November, and the shade cloth is still there. Yeah, I've got some drilling going on. I'll stop for a bit. And I've now realised that with the shade cloth still here, as you can see, the MEDAKA are getting very little sun in the morning because the sun now rises in a different direction in the autumn compared to the summer, and it gets to be quite low light conditions here around the MEDAKA tub area towards the end of the afternoon. So I think it's reasonable to assume it may appear to the MEDAKA that the day length is much shorter than it actually is. It's not so bright in the morning, and it's low light conditions late in the afternoon, and therefore they're not producing any eggs. Short day length, they don't produce eggs. But my previous experience is by now, sort of mid-November, at least some of the MEDAKA will produce a reasonable number of eggs when we get with these cooler temperatures, and the day length is actually still at least about 11 hours. So I've removed all the shade cloth. All nice and bright now. So we see what happens. I mean, even though it's quite late in the afternoon now, where the MEDAKA tubs are, it's much brighter than it was with the shade cloth there. So hopefully in a week or so the MEDAKA will decide that it's not short enough day length yet to stop producing eggs, and it might stimulate them to so we can get a few more eggs this breeding season. And I mean, that's the main reason I suppose that I keep going with this YouTube channel. Conditions always vary throughout the year when you're keeping MEDAKA outdoors. So if something isn't going right at a particular time of the year, I can look back through my previous videos. With this, for example, this time no eggs, so I see what happened last autumn and found, yeah, I didn't have any shade cloth in late October, early November. So taking that shade cloth down now. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not the reason why they're not producing eggs. But anyway, I can look back through the videos at each particular time of year to see what I might have done right or what I might have done wrong, and try, and it gives me some thoughts as to how I might rectify any situation which is not going as I would prefer. Okay,